Okay, so I spent 5 days in France a couple days ago, and now I'm back with a haul of some of the goodies that I picked up, both vintage and a couple of new bits. And I just thought I'd share them because they've been gathering in a pile and I've been trying to keep them all together so I remember what I bought. But I think it's time that they go into their final places and I can actually put them into my life. Also, if you're curious where I've been for the last year, stay tuned to the end for a little life update. So we flew into Bordeaux and then we did a road trip with a rental car around the Dordogne region, which covered a lot of medieval towns. Of course, I was interested in checking out these towns, exploring the culture there, eating the food, and of course, doing a bit of shopping. Okay, so our first stop I think was the town of Périgueux. I'll try and put in names and places because I don't really remember them now. And also some things that I was on the lookout for. I really wanted to find some good small vintage frames that I really like, the gold ones or wood ones, so that I can either add my own art into, or I would love to find good original art that I really like. But I'm really particular about subject matter and colors. I think because I do paint myself, I don't need to buy it unless it really speaks to me. So I was on the lookout for that, as well as I wanted to get some vintage stoneware containers and French ceramics. As well as I wanted to get some brass candlesticks. They are kind of hard to come by. I actually have a couple, one that I brought from Canada and two that I found in Scotland here. And as well as some I don't know, I was really into the idea of French kitchenware, home goods. And I really wanted to get some hooks because I feel we could use more storage options. And what else? I don't know, brass animals, little figurines, little things that would just remind me of the trip and add to the decor of my home. So first stop was this charity shop. I think it was a Red Cross one. Now it was quite a big expansive space, but I felt I don't know, they had a decent amount of clothes and stuff. I, spoiler alert, didn't actually find any clothes secondhand there at all. I found this in Canada as well. Sometimes when you go to these smaller towns, they have good vintage homewares, but sometimes the clothes aren't as, I don't know, the clothes that I'm looking for. They had some vintage bags, they were only €1 each, and I'm kind of wishing I got one just to see if I could rehab it. There's this one that was kind of that, I don't know, a black handled leather bag, kind of in that Hermes style, but it was a bit floppy, it wasn't holding its own, and I don't really know how to add structure back into a leather bag, but I kind of think it might have been worth it just to try. But I don't know, sometimes I especially at a first stop on a trip, I don't want to fill up too much, which will be a theme in my next stop. But anyways, the first item I got, where did it go? But the first thing that I got in this charity shop was this little, I'm not sure if it's a pastry or a pasta cutter, but it's just a little wheel. It's made out of, it's carved out of wood, and it will cut a, I don't know, a zigzag line. So I just thought that should be cool because I am getting back into baking, and I don't know, I thought I love vintage wooden versions of cute kitchen things I can use, and it was listed for 50 cents, but I actually didn't find anything else in the shop. So when I went up to pay, the people who were working there were just oh, it's free. I actually, of course, my French from high school has been really rusty, so I was didn't really know what's happening. But there was this guy who's a local, I think photographer for a local newspaper, and he just was saying to me earlier, I was oh, I don't speak French, and he was trying to explain he's taking photos, and I was no problem. So he was there when I was trying to check out, and he was oh, they're saying it's free, it's a gift, and I'm that's just really sweet. That I was happy to pay the 50 cents for this little tool. And now the second stop that I went on in this town was actually one of my favorite stops of this whole trip. It was a little antique shop. I have a couple clips. I'm not sure if they're any good, so I'll insert them if they are. They had a ton of selection of stoneware crocs that were really beautiful, and all really reasonably priced. They'd be €12, and the guy was actually oh, I'll give it to you for 10. The owners there were really sweet, and we also kind of worked out using a bit of Google Translate to explain things. But I was really tempted by them, as well as they had some of the brass candlesticks I've been looking for, the ones with a little lever that raises them. I'll just insert a photo. And I think they were €8, which really wasn't bad, but I don't know, it was my first good stop. They had some at the charity shop, and they were also nine or €10, and they weren't as in good shape, and these ones were smaller. So the ones I saw previously were really big, and I'm have limited space, although we did have a car, which was really helpful, and we had a big checked bag. So it's kind of like, this is my chance to get like bigger things, but also I need to like make sure that we don't go overweight. And I probably overpacked too many clothes, but I was hoping that it'd be nicer like weather than it was, because I haven't got a chance to wear like most of my summer clothes. Sorry, I'm digressing. But I wanted the chance to wear them over there. Spoiler alert, I didn't really get to because the weather wasn't that great. But anyways, I should have brought less clothes. I was a little bit concerned about weight, especially with like stoneware things and like chunky brass candlesticks. So I didn't get them, and I do kind of regret it because I didn't come across another one, or not at the same price point. But I am hoping, I'm actually going back to France. I'm going to Paris and Amiens for the Grand Reterie flea market that's happening, and that's like the first weekend of October. So I'm like, you know, if I don't find these things for the price that I want to pay, like I'm sure like I'll see them again, and maybe I can get a better deal on them, because I feel like the more deals you get, I don't know, the more things that you can pick up for like the same cost. Anyway, but I was like, this is like my first good stop. Maybe there'll be more to come. But what I did pick up, I saw some mini frames that were lying in a stack. And I actually, it's funny because I don't know if I've shown this in a previous video, but I had gotten ones before where they have like this weird fabric, like padded art in these gold frames. So I saw this one and I really liked how it looks like those, like, I don't know, what are they? Plastered old style frame. And I'm thinking I can put like a little oil painting in here, because I really like the one that I did with a hummingbird that I gave to my friend. I'll put a photo in of what I converted it from. So I was like, I saw these, they're like the same style. I really like the right proportions in a frame, and I thought these were so cute. So I got this one, which is the only one that they had in this style. And then there's these two other ones that I also liked. They're a bit more simple, like the frame, but I think they'll look really good. I actually kind of like this painting. The fact that it's like fabric, I don't know, doesn't really do it for me, because it's like a little pillow. Although I guess maybe I'll leave this one as is until I get around to painting it. They actually had a fourth one, but the guy was like, oh, they're €5 each, which I was like, isn't bad honestly, but I'm like also not like the greatest deal. And I'm like thinking like, this is my first day here. I need to like make sure my funds last for like all these other shops. Like I don't want to run into more things and be like, ugh, I've spent too much money. And that one wasn't as nice. So I just got these three. And I am hoping to set up a little like art, I don't know, selling prints and some extra art that I create. So I was thinking it'd be good to have them. Also, I love mini frames for like making either like a small impact on a big wall in an unexpected place, or like fitting into a small corner, like a little hallway, or above like a light switch. I really like them. And they fit in great into gallery walls as well, to add a bit of like size difference and interest. So I got these three, so €5 each, so it's €15. And then also they had some really good paintings for really reasonable prices, like original oils, like pretty big in nice frames for like €100 something, like 120 or something. But obviously like I don't think it was gonna fit, and I was like, I have to really love it for that price. But I did see this on the wall. And I was also looking for, along with like oil paintings, which I love, but like good sketches or like ink sketches of things, because I think like it's good to kind of, if you have a gallery wall or different art around the home, kind of mix up the medium that's used, and it'll kind of balance each other out. So I saw this on a wall, and I thought it was so cool, because also I'm trying to find the bigger pieces of art, especially since I have a checked bag. So when I go to Paris, I'll be doing carry-ons, and then I'll probably bring an extra duffel bag in case I fill that up and need more space. But I won't be lugging around a big checked bag with me. So this one was a pretty good size. It's an original ink sketch, and it's cool because like all the towns that we visited were really reminiscent of like this. Like they're all built up on cliffs. They have like little churches at the top, and like the town with like all the shops are below. I'm not sure. I don't think this is one of the towns I actually was in. Like it doesn't seem to line up with the buildings, but if anyone knows what town this is supposed to be of, I would love to know. I might post it somewhere and see if anyone is able to identify it. But yeah, I love that. Like I love the size of it. I love that like sketchy look, like sketched in look with ink. The guy said it was an original. There is a little bit of like water, I don't know, seepage at the bottom, but I kind of don't care, because I kind of like that it adds to that vintage look, and I like the color of the paper. Like there's something about aged paper that just like hits better than like fresh new bright white paper. Also, I like the frame. I like a simple thin frame as well to go along, like mix into like more ornate ones. And it's a nice like burgundy color, and it's shiny and it's simple. But yeah, I am really happy with it. Also, because I asked him, in France they write their ones funny, like they do a swoop all the way down. So I just wanted to like make sure I was reading. So my phone decided to stop recording because it ran out of space, because I take way too many photos and videos, like so many videos on my phone that I need to like offload so I can edit and post. Anyway, as I was saying, it was written like €15, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't like 75 or something. So I asked the guy just to confirm like how much it was, and he was like, oh, 15, but like I'll give it to you for 10. And I was like, for 10? Yes, I'm gonna take that. I love this a lot, and I'm really happy that I found it and I got to pick it up. So the next stop I went to, we stopped by this antique shop in Brive. We actually stopped by a couple, but this one had a good collection of things a little bit further out from the center of town. One other thing I had been really looking for was a vintage like French ceramic match strike, because they have some really nice ones, and I've seen some on like vintage shops selling them, and they can be quite expensive. Unfortunately, they also were really expensive, everyone that I saw in France. They're also bigger than I thought they would be. But there's one, I'll insert a clip, that I really liked, but I don't know, it was like 75 or 85 euro, and I'm just like, I don't think I can justify paying that much right now for something that holds matches. In that shop, they did have this little guy. So it's a metal horse, and I actually really liked how it looks kind of like it's carved, like kind of primitively. And I actually like the color. Like, I'm not sure if this is like brass and it's just like really oxidized, but I feel like, I don't know, it's definitely intended to be like darker all around, because there's not like a hint of gold really on it. Or is it bronze? Like, I don't really know. But I liked the way it looked, and like the little face on it. And I just like how it's more rustic than most of the ones I have. I also had to sell most of my brass animal collection in Vancouver. I still have some in storage. Yeah, I'm kind of rebuilding with pieces that I really love, and I really like this guy. And I kind of wanted more like to go for a slight equestrian theme in some rooms with like horses and dogs, because I love them both, and we live on a farm. So there's that. Now the next place we went to, I think we were staying in Sarlat de Canada or something. Right here, I don't know my French, it's a bit rough. The morning we were leaving, this was our like second to last day in France, we stopped by this, I don't remember what it's called, but like these places, they have like loads of things for like, I think, good deals, which is what I'm really looking for, because like I realize brocants tend to actually be more expensive like stores typically, like more like antique shops than where I was thinking like I want more like charity shop prices, thrift store prices. But I did find this guy. It's one of those vintage ceramic crocks pots, little jars, and maybe the confit jars. This one's actually stamped made in France. I love this warm tone, and just like, I think it's a salt glaze that gives it that like kind of different shades effect. It has a lid, great condition. So I saw this one first, and also in the shop, like there's loads of things, but nothing at a price. So I just figured like they'll probably give me a price when I get up there. So I saw this, I was like, definitely getting that, because I was kind of assuming it'd probably be cheaper than in the brocante, where it's all like nice and fancy. And that one was like a little bit bigger as well, and this one's a bit smaller. So I found this first, and then I found its buddy, this little guy. And I was like obsessed with the size of this and the shape of it. Like, I love these little handles on the side. Also has its lid, also in really good condition. So I was like, I will get these. And then I also spotted, because I've been looking for a little sugar dish with like a little cutout to like put a spoon in. That way I don't have to like get a spoon every time I need sugar. And I found this guy. I was actually tempted to buy one like new from a shop, which is fine and everything, but I was like, maybe I'll hold out to see if I can find one while I'm in France. Because I feel like you get these things. One, I like finding a really good deal and like remembering like where I was when I found it, and how excited I was. Whereas like if you get it from a store, like it's great, but it doesn't have as many memories associated and it's not as unique. But yeah, I found this little one, it has a little cutout. The lid is so cute, and came with this little spoon. Now I might actually swap out the spoon with one that I have, because because I feel like if I'm using, well, it depends. If I'm using it for sugar, I'll definitely need a bigger one. So I have like this one that also fits in to the lid as well. But I was also thinking it's kind of small for sugar. I feel like I might like, I don't know, I like my coffee and tea like sweetened. So it might not like, I might like eat through it too fast. So I'm like, maybe this could be really cute for some like fancy salt. Now I had meant to get some like fleur de sel, like fancy French sea salt. I didn't pick it up because I was in Lidl and they had a big container and I was like, I don't know, I was feeling my suitcase might be too heavy. I might get some salt the next time and then fill this up with some nice salt for like dressing a dish at the very end, garnishing a dish. But I thought these were so cute. And I think I also grabbed this guy because I had seen this one video. I think Matilda go home tour in her like kids room. She had like this little shelf with like just a couple of like porcelain animal figurines. I thought that was so sweet. I love like animal things, so I was like, also with my like horse dog theme that I want to have. I just thought this guy was really cute. I'm like, surely it's tiny, like hopefully they won't charge me too much for it. It says it's made in China, but I think the face is really cute and it's just really sweet. So I brought these all up to the counter, asked the guy, combien, like how much like cent of my French that I brushed up on for this trip. And he was like, 12 euro. And I was like, for a second I had to be like, that was 3, right? And not 13, because I was like, that is such a good deal. Like I got like 4 things, chunky things for 3 euro. And I was like, oh, like 3 euro? And he was like, yeah. And so I was like, okay. And I paid him and I was like, it's all right if I just like leave this here and take one last loop around the store, because I was like, at this price, there are a couple things that I'd seen, but I was like, like, I don't know, like how much it's gonna come to. I didn't want to like get a bunch of stuff and be like, oh, actually, I don't want to pay that much money and like put them back. So I did another loop. Even my boyfriend who was there, who was like kind of ready to go because there wasn't anything that interested him. I was like, sorry if I just do a quick loop. And he was like, yeah, like for these prices, like also the thing was with the charity shops here in Ireland, I found most of them are a lot more expensive. Like I feel like one of these items would have been like 3 to 5 euros at least. So like for each of them being like €1 was insane. And I was like, I'm gonna take another look and grab anything that I like because this is such a good deal. Definitely the best deals I've seen thus far on the trip. Also recently at a market, I got this little like wooden scoop so I can put like, I don't know, other type of salt, and let's get like truffle salt or something. So I had actually seen these 2 items when I had done my first loop around, but I was like, I'm already getting these, my hands are kind of full. But I really like this little like terracotta glazed container. I was like, that looks like Greek to me, and I actually did some research and I found it's actually the name of a Greek restaurant like in Greece. Like the drippy glaze, and I think it's just funny that like it came from Greece and then someone brought it to France, and now I have it here in Ireland. And I'm going to use it to store pencils and pens because the one I have in my office currently doesn't really hold that many, and I think this one's cuter. So I'm definitely going to use that. This little ceramic container, I think it's actually like a terracotta yogurt pot, and I just really like the glossy finish of it. And it actually says Paul, which is a French bakery, and I'd actually have good memories of it because like I had gone to one when my boyfriend took me to Disneyland Paris for my birthday a few years ago, and we stopped by one of these on our way back home. So I don't know, so I just kind of like had good memories associated, and I showed my boyfriend, who's actually, that's actually really cool. So I felt like validated because he usually doesn't like, he's not as enthused about like home things as I am. So I was like, definitely gonna get this. Not 100% sure what I'll use it for. Like I was thinking I could obviously use it to like wash brushes, like for watercolors. But usually I like glass ones because you can see through them. But so maybe I'll just, I don't know, just to hold things on my desk or like in the kitchen. More salt. How much salt am I going to be consuming? But anyways, I thought it was so sweet. And I was like, oh, how much for these 2 as well? And he was like, €1. And I was like, I don't know. I just felt like I got such good deals. I was really happy. I am all about like finding great things at great deals because yeah, like you can spend a lot of money on these things, but I'd rather spend less money and get more things, you know? So I was really happy about finding all of those. I was like giggling to myself. They actually had another shop across the road, but I don't know, my boyfriend was kind of like fed up with me doing all the shopping. He's like wanted to hit the road, so we went on. But I think if I was going to be back in the area, I'd definitely hit them up again and see the other shop as well. On the way to Bordeaux, I believe, there were quite a few brocants on the way. So I pulled into this one and I thought this place was amazing. My boyfriend hated it because it was like very messy and big and like chaotic. But I loved it because I was like, I feel like they're gonna be good deals here, because their yard was like filled with like random garden things, loads of like bikes and motorbikes all over the place. And I was like, I feel like this is a place that I might be able to dig through the things and find something cool. And I had actually been looking for these two things, so I'm actually really excited. So I kept like scrolling around, picking up things, being like, this is a cool like vintage alarm clock, and then putting it back, being like, do I really need this? Like, you know, trying to be like cognizant also that I didn't have a ton of space in my suitcase. But I had been looking for, like, I'd seen these in some other people's homes from France, like vintage coat hooks or whatever, because I kind of want to add some to our entryway area. My last like loop around, I saw these at like on the bottom shelf of like this in the corner, and they had a bunch of wooden like pegs and like hook things. So I kind of dug through and picked out my favorite one, and I picked out this guy. Now this was really dusty and kind of gross. I hate spider webs, and I like braved through them for this. It's in like a fake bamboo style. It's actually wood that's carved to look like bamboo, and I just had seen some of these before. I thought they were so adorable, and I think it'll be just the right size for where I'm hoping to put it. I haven't really fully definitively decided yet. It was really dusty. I gave it a bit of a clean with some, I saw that you can like polish wood with like vinegar and like olive oil, so I just like brushed it on, and it really revived the wood a bit because it was looking a bit dry. But I think this will be really adorable, and I'm kind of tempted to find another one and add it to our bedroom as well, because I feel like we just need more like storage options. And then also this place didn't have like price tags on everything. Some things weren't that great of a deal, but some things were. And then I also found, I've been looking for some vintage like glass jam jars, like French glass jam jars. I don't know, it's a thing. And they had a shelf, and now they had some like new ones as well, like newer ones mixed in with older ones. And I was like, I'm not 100%, I like, if I'm buying like a jam jar, I want to make sure it's vintage and not just one that was like you could just buy new, which is fine, you know, but I don't want to be, I'd rather just buy jam with a nice jar if it's a new one. I picked out two. I think this one's definitely older. You can see like, I don't know if you can see, but I can see bubbles in the glass. And I think it was blown because I actually, after I set it down, don't know if you can see, it's like wonky. It's like kind of crooked if you look at it. But I think that's kind of cool and definitely shows that it's old. And yeah, I love it. I don't know, I love like this like design on glasses. And I wanted to use these to like hold some of my extra paintbrushes and things. And I feel like this one also isn't like that new either. I feel like it might actually have been like cut glass, and this one's like blown into shape. But I just thought these were really cute, and I was looking for them. Now they are like heavy and chunky, so I was like, maybe it's better I do this when I'm like checking a bag. Like do pick them up, but if I do see another one in the future, maybe I'll pick it up as well. But yeah, just have these to hold my paintbrushes. I kind of like mixing in like glass with the ceramic, so like it kind of adds some like lightness and lets light go through, or even like use them to wash brushes. But yeah, I don't do a whole ton of like water-based ones, and I have like, you have to use like solvent for like oils. Anyways, these are cute. They'll hold my paintbrushes very nicely on my desk, and I do really want to like make over my studio space. Anyways, love these. I think they'd also be cool for like candle holders if you had like smaller ones like this size. So yeah, maybe I'll look out for more when I'm in Amiens and Paris. Yeah. And then I think that brings us to our last stop. We stopped in this charity shop in this town. I forget what it's called. Wasn't a ton there. But I did find this, like, I think it was another Red Cross place, and they didn't have like prices on all their home things, but I was like hoping, like the previous place I went to, that they would have good deals, even though they weren't written. And I just came across this plate. I was actually looking for like a plate this kind of size, and I thought this one was cute because it has like a little, I don't know, house in blue on it. It has France stamped on the back, which is cool. And I just wanted this to like hold my soaps and things by my kitchen sink. Otherwise, I was also hoping to get one for like makeup items, because I don't know, I like having things easy access. Right now they're in a bag, so they're not really, but I think the size is perfect. I've actually been using it for my soaps just to kind of corral them a bit, because I felt like there's just a lot of things floating about that area. So I got this, And then I also just saw this like cute little shell. I love the beach and like shell things and anything related to the beach. But yeah, there's like a little hole, but it looks like it's kind of like maybe has been there for a while. But I just really liked how shiny it was. I actually saw like a shop like selling some of these and they were like kind of expensive. So I saw this and I was like, how much? She was like €1 for both of them. And I'm like, okay. So I just thought it was a cool little thing that I want to like add to a shelf that I will eventually build for my studio space. So yeah, I was happy with those. I got these 3 books and I like these. Like, I don't think they're real leather, but I like the leather look of the binding. And then I also found this one, which I just like because it had like gold horses on the front and also had like, I don't know, they're cute illustrations. I thought they would be cute if you wanted to take them out and frame them. They're all in French, of course. Maybe I actually will try to read this one. I don't know, I always feel like really guilty about like taking anything out of a book, but it's kind of dinged up. I just like that it had horses on it. But I actually got all these books for free in like the little free libraries there. So I just picked up a couple. They actually had like loads of these ones. And I just thought they'd be a cute addition to my shelves. And I was like, I hope I have space for these. And maybe one day I will brush up on French enough to actually be able to read them. It was a blast. I found a couple of things that I've been looking for. I do kind of regret not getting that like little brass candlestick with the little lever. I'd also seen this really cute woven basket that I was looking for that was like about this size with a little handle, and one that was like a little bigger, but they were like 13 and 16 euros, and I was kind of like, it's like, I was hoping that I'd find one secondhand, but I didn't find one. And I do kind of regret it because I think I should have been able to stuff it in. I'm not really sure if I would have space, but I would have made space for them. And I think I also got a couple other bits that are new. If you're not interested, I don't know, feel free to skip on. I'm excited about everything I bought there. It's something about like buying things when you're like traveling that just makes them seem so much more like romantic. I did get this bag though, which I got from a market, but it was like new. And I've been looking for a straw bag because I had one in Canada, but I ended up not bringing it over when I moved. So I kind of felt like I was missing that like cute summery bag in my wardrobe. So I picked this up. The guy unfortunately wouldn't like budge on price, so I got it for like €29, but I do really like it. I think this is actually made out of leather, the straps, and I've been looking at ones online that were like the same price or even more, and they had like fake leather details. Has a zip and has like a little pocket. I just really like the color. I like love dressing for summer, so I felt like I was really missing a nice straw summer bag. I was like, it might also get a bigger one to like hold more things. But yeah, I just thought this was really cute. And I actually am glad I got it because I was kind of like, maybe you'll find a nicer one for a better price, but I actually didn't find any other ones that I liked, and I think they were actually more expensive. So I felt like that was all right. And like, you know, it'll remind me of my trip, and it will definitely be worn. And I'm pretty sure my old one also cost like the same amount. Love that. Adds to the summery vibe, even though now we're like into end of September, and I probably won't really get to wear it until next summer, but that's fine. Also things that I won't be wearing till next summer. I got these leather sandals from a shop. They were €20. I'd actually been looking for like leather sandals all year. Again, I had some in Canada. I kind of needed to replace them anyway, so they didn't come over with me. And I missed like having just like a nice strappy pair of like leather sandals. And these are 100% leather. I kind of wish like they were a little more substantial on the heel to like for walking around all day, but I think they'll do fine. If we go on any like nice little summer trips, they'll like pack down really small. And yeah, I was happy that I found them. But yeah, I think this will be cute with my little straw bag and like a little dress, like wandering around somewhere sunny. All right, and some other stuff I got from the shop. I don't know, sorry, that's a very crinkly. I don't know if any of you guys are actually interested, because I guess this is a departure from my usual like vintage things, but they excited me, so I thought I'd just share them. While I was there, I wanted to pick up some French skincare that's like all, I don't know, people seem to be going crazy about. So I actually picked up this Embroilissé, I don't know how to say it, Lait Crème Concentré multifunction moisturizer that's supposed to be also like really good as a makeup base that like all like French makeup artists swear by. So I got a small one to try. I've actually really liked it. I was like, okay, how good could it really be? But I feel like it actually makes your skin look better, even without like putting anything on, and makeup sits well in it. So they're doing something right. I just got this Vichy moisturizer. I think I had a sample of this one before. Anyways, I thought I'd get it in France because I think they're supposed to be cheaper. I'm actually not really sure if they are. I think they are. I hope they are. But yeah, so I picked that up as well, and I'm excited to use that. And then I didn't realize Chlorane is my favorite like dry shampoo brand, and it's actually French, which I didn't know. So I was like, I think it's a bit cheaper there. I actually haven't seen it here in Ireland, so I picked this one up. I haven't actually seen this one before. It's like for oily hair, and it has like nettle in it. I mean, I hate nettles because they always sting me whenever I'm in the garden. But if they can keep my oil under control, my hair, that's great. And I've used it a bit, and I actually find it works really well. Got these from when I was in Carrefour, but I did have like Carrefour's like own brand mini one, which is like small enough for travel, which is what I was wanting, because I feel like the travel size ones here are all Baptiste, and I know they're really popular, but I've never liked the way they sat on my hair. I feel like they like feel quite producty without like really doing that great a job of like absorbing oil. Whereas I find like the Chlorane stuff actually like it doesn't feel like there's anything there, and it actually looks refreshed. So highly recommend. I used to get this stuff in Canada, and then I also got some food from France. I actually tried these, like they're like little, instead of like pepperoni sticks that you get like in the US, they're like salami sticks, and they're really good. I actually got another pack. It was like the nut flavor, which I didn't like as much, but I already finished that, and I got these. I really like these as a snack, even though they're graded nutritionally the lowest, but I thought they're quite like satisfying to snack on and satiating. And then I also just got from like the little, we also have, but they have like much better selection. Also like the fresh like produce and everything, like I think it was cheaper and like fresher over there. I also just got some chorizo, just because I don't see this, like I don't think they have it available here. And I don't even know what this is, some sort of salami thing. Looked good. They had a load there. I was like, I'm gonna take this home and have it like on a little charcuterie board or like cook with it. So I got those. And I also had like been researching a bunch of things, like what things are better to actually buy in France. And they said bouillon, and only like, I don't know, when I looked at it and sort of didn't know what it was, but it's actually like a fish one, because it looked more interesting than the other one that was just like herbs. But then I like looked back at that list, and I think it was supposed to be the herb one. I'll put the name in here that they said was like better. But yeah, anyways, I guess I have this one for like herbs and white wine for when I cook fish, which is fine. That's all that I got when I was in France. And I can't wait because I'm going soon after. I think that's one of the biggest perks of moving to Europe, is that just travel is so much more accessible, both like time-wise and like cost-wise. Like flights are so much more affordable, and like easier to get places. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you enjoyed watching all the things that I have found. And yeah, let me know if there's anything on your list that you'd like to find, or if you're going anywhere and planning on doing any thrifting. Subscribe if you want to see more, because I will be definitely doing some content of whatever I find in Amiens. I'm planning this whole trip just to go to this flea market, and I'm like, I hope I find good deals and things that I really want there, because yeah, that's mainly. Actually, I'm also going to go check out a bunch of art museums in Paris that I haven't gone to before, and be able to spend my sweet time there and taking as long as I want, because I'll be by myself. There's something about solo travel that's like really great. Anyways, that's not even this trip. That's all the things that I got. Now I'm glad that I actually have to finally integrate them into my home, put sugar and salt into my little containers, and start using them, because I was like, I didn't want them to be full of things when I was showing them. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite thing was, and if there's anything that's on your list, let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, also, I forgot to say, I picked these up, which were like more expensive than anything. I got these New Balance sneakers from Intersport. While I was over there, they were new and they weren't that cheap, but I was kind of like, I really like this color. Don't know if I'll be able to find it back home. So I picked them up because I really like the light blue. I'm really obsessed with the color, and like the gray. And they were actually really comfortable, because I've been a diehard fan of Gazelles for like years, and I still am. But I feel like these actually offer like more cushioning throughout the sole. So I feel like they'll be more comfortable, and I'll probably wear them when I'm in Paris, because I think they'll be better for walking around in, because I got a bit tired like standing around all day, like when you're walking like 20,000 steps every day. But yeah, love the cream laces, love the blue. I'd actually like pinned like almost the same shoe on my Pinterest, so it's kind of like, you know, I know that I like them, and I picked them up. And yeah, excited to wear those as well. Hi, Christina here. Bit of a cutaway, because I've been meaning to get back to posting videos, but some major life changes have kind of gotten in the way of that. Kind of an excuse, kind of just got caught up with life. But we actually moved to Ireland in March, So we packed up all our stuff. I took over like 2 giant suitcases plus my golf bag because I kind of play golf, and brought them over to Ireland. I do have like 2 boxes in storage with my parents. But yeah, I left Vancouver. I now live in Ireland, and I live in this old farmhouse that was built in like 1902 or 1903. And it's got a lot of character, but it could use a little bit of updates. So I'm hoping to do some more content on that, as well as decorating the space and kind of rebuilding some of my collections. I have a goal of like hitting up all the major like flea markets in Europe. So I'm hoping to get to do that over the next while I'm living over here, as well as checking out local markets within Ireland, and local charity shops, and trying to find some treasures and showing you what you find along the way, as well as making some updates to the house and making some things, as always. So yeah, I hope you'll stick around for the journey. I have a backlog of a lot of videos that I need to get through editing and posting, and hopefully you enjoy them. There's going to be a little of a juxtaposition because I've been working on editing my Vancouver apartment tour because we don't live there anymore. So I'm still working on that, but you'll see like some videos in Ireland, and then we'll suddenly be back in Vancouver. But yeah, obviously I live here in Ireland now, but yeah, hope you enjoy these videos and hope you still find them useful.